I see. So it's not that, wow, it's not that, wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now if I wanted.
I can roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing.
Imagine deciding to be a comedian, but having the emotional fortitude of a piece of wet tissue in a freaking hurricane. Seems very hazardous to your health. Anyway, there's this clip that went viral with this, comedian.
Oh my god, I love it! Okay, wait, what made you want to ask him?
Why are you making it sound like we're a couple?
Oh my god, don't get scared. What? Oh, it's not that, wow, it's not that, wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now if I
I can
wanted.
roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing.
So as you can see there, she has no idea how to handle this. She starts like melting, and then it actually gets worse as the clip goes on because she can dish out a gay joke on a stranger, but then she can't take the mildest of clapbacks without crumbling into this freaking 3-year-old tantrum about the state of the world. And that's exactly where it ends up heading. Like, girl, sit down. You clearly don't belong up there. Because let's take a few things into consideration, right? And the more we explain it, you'll see as the clip goes on, the more embarrassing it gets, which honestly feeds into the whole stereotype of women not being funny or us women being overly emotional and not being able to handle stuff like this. And this person is the walking spokesperson for all those stereotypes. Like, I can't even cap. When people are like, you don't belong in certain occupations, you can't handle it. And then you have this person being the most viral and just discounts all of the work that all the other women put in to get where they are.
I see. So you were afraid because you felt like I was saying you're gay.
So the first thing was your joke, if we can even call it that.
Oh my god, I love it! Okay.
Ew. Because I didn't find it very funny at all. It was really, really weak. And if your big, edgy punchline is, haha, you two must be gay, am I right? Y'all gay, right? Then I'm sorry, but that's just, it means you have no material. You can't even deliver it properly. It wasn't a good delivery. It wasn't a good joke. I wouldn't even call it a joke. And I find it very hypocritical that this woman ends up talking about the state of the world and negativity while making a bottom feeder gay joke. And it wasn't even good. I'm sorry, but it feels like all the people laughing are her friends that she hired to be there, because no actual person would pay to come and see something like this. And if they got dragged here, the only way I would be able to probably believe that they enjoyed it is if they were already pissed drunk and wanted to see her crash out so they can enjoy the fallout because they know how she is. Like, you single-handedly made yourself into ammunition that all other comedians can now use. You made a poor gay joke with a piss-poor delivery. And I'm not even gonna say it's offensive because as a comedian, your job is to offend people, like, I get it, but if anything, the real offense, if anyone's gonna be offended, should come from her lack of creativity and not from the fact that she used a gay joke.
Why are you making it sound like we're a couple?
Oh my god, don't get scared.
It's not my fault.
What? It's not that, wow, it's not that, wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now if I wanted.
I can roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing.
Bro, this is the moment, like, where you could see she's working really hard to hide the fact that she's hurt by him embarrassing her, which is literally what she's up there to do. You're a court jester, bro. Like, that's your literal job. Except instead of performing in front of a king or monarchs or whatever, you're in front of people paying you to be funny and entertain them. To be a comedian, you have to be able to make fun of yourself or take it with stride. You have to be able to take someone roasting you. That's like working in construction and flying off the handle because you got a speck of dust on your hand. You look dumb as fuck. Number 2, it's funny that she even put this up on her own page, but she probably did it because she didn't want it all coming out if somebody else made it go viral, if they just happened to be taking the clip of everything that went down, because that would make her look worse. So she decided that she was gonna go on the offense and post it herself before someone else did, and title it Heckler Confronts Comedian. But sis, you heckled the heckler, though. He wasn't even heckling you. Even the people in the comments are pointing that out. You started the heckle war unprovoked, and instead of bracing for impact, like a real comedian would, like Dave Chappelle or anybody else would, that's taking up the mantle to be in this line of work, you had a toxic masculinity moment. Or as people would call it, you had a Redditor incel moment. I can't even call it toxic femininity because you turned into a whole ass man on stage.
Fucking look me in the eyes. You're putting negative fucking energy out here. This is the last show of my fucking, look me in the fucking eyes.
Honestly, you make the
It is man.
person look feminine and dainty as fuck. And let's be real, if you weren't on stage, if you didn't have a bunch of people around you backing you up, you wouldn't be caught dead ass yelling in another man's face like you got balls. And the only reason you did is because you know the law is probably on your side, because let's be honest, if he was drunk enough and decided to put hands on you, which I wouldn't agree with, you wouldn't have had shit to say, because you wouldn't have been able to say anything because you would have been knocked the fuck out. Now, let's really talk. If that was a big bitch, would you have had the same energy? Or do you only have that energy because the dude and you think he's not gonna do shit? Not even playing around. What if it was a big black dude, right? Like, given people like her, what would you have said? Would you have had the same energy? Be honest. Be honest, because I bet you $10,000 she would not have had that same energy. But she thought that the safest person to pick on was this little white dude or whatever, because people like her usually know people like him won't hit back. And if they do, their whole lives are over anyway. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter the person, you know? I mean, I think she did it because she thinks it's safe to pick on him because she knows he ain't gonna do shit with that kind of mentality she's got. But if it were anybody else, she knew her career would be over in an instant because it would make her look even worse. But newsflash though, it still makes you look really bad regardless of the skin color of the person. But she's probably also one of those people, I don't know her personally, obviously, but I wouldn't just base on her whole emotional tantrum, I wouldn't put it past someone like this seeing someone outside playing in the park and call the cops on them. I'm just saying. She seems like that kind of person. Like, oh my God, I just happened to look your way. Oh, you want to fight? She's giving me those freaking meth vibes. But she chose to crash out on that person because she knew she could get away with it. Except now that she put this out there, she played herself. And I'm glad that people are pointing that out.
So you were afraid because you felt like I was saying your name.
I can take the mic if you want.
So whatever the reasons, you decide to make a Joe at gay people's expense. So the guy's clapping back at that. Now, nothing's wrong with that. Nobody should be shielded from comedy. But the fact that you got super offended over basically nothing means you have no business trying to even make jokes like that in the first place. The man didn't even try, bro. He just suggested. He just suggested that he could roast you. And you spiraled into a full-blown existential crisis. Like, girl, how are you having a meltdown in your own profession where you're supposed to make other people melt down? Comedy is combat. And if you can't handle one guy challenging you, and it was barely even a challenge, what are you gonna do when somebody actually drags you? He didn't even drag you, bro. He didn't even say anything. And your snatch got loose and wobbly real quick. You were on the verge of freaking crying. Like, are you okay? Like, why are you here? You're not a comedian. Who called her a comedian? How did she decide that's what she was? Who lied to her? At this point, it just feels like somebody escaped from a mental institution, grabbed the mic from somebody who was actually supposed to go on stage that night and hid them in a closet or something and went up on stage, and then people just assumed that she was a comedian and she went along with it. Remember Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix one? I feel like that character has more emotional fortitude than this person does.
It's okay, he's your new friend.
I will say this, like, it is such a hard time in this world right now. There are so many people that came together to be supportive and fucking amazing, and you're putting fucking look me in the eyes. You're putting negative fucking energy out here. This is the last show of my fucking, look me in the fucking
Bitch, back the fuck up and take a fucking Xanax. Like, are they sure this isn't a homeless person addicted to some kind of powerful substance that snuck in this freaking show? This feels like a freaking advertisement for some upcoming zombie movie where you see on like the news and different clips, like aggression starts turning people into freaking I Am Legend zombie vampire things. And this is how it starts. They all get angry and starts biting people's neck for no reason because this meltdown just came out of nowhere. Damn. Bruh. Got all these Crayola looking tattoos all over your goddamn arm talking about negative energy up here looking like the freaking demon from Sinister trying to intimidate a paying audience member because he got sensitive over you making a gay joke. But again, his reaction wasn't even 1% of what your reaction was to him reacting to the shit you started. Honestly, that's what makes this whole thing funny. And the thing is, you had every opportunity to turn this around and make it into comedy material and roast his ass. But instead, you started getting all philosophical, went full of woe is me, and suddenly you're the victim. See, if you were an actual comedian, you would have worked with that. He barely did anything to you, boo. Oh my God. That's why I'm convinced that the people in the audience were paid to be there. Or this is her very first night because ain't no way. Like, you're a comedian on stage out here talking. Fucking look me nuts. And then turning into a freaking He-Man. Like, ma'am, sir, whatever the fuck. You're on stage. You're not running a group therapy session. You're not trying to manifest some good vibes, chakra, freaking Pluto, stone from Jupiter, my freaking astrology rocks, all that shit. You're not tasting wine with the other stay-at-home moms. This isn't a church sermon. You took a minor audience interaction and turned it into a cringe-inducing meltdown. And at that point, honestly, if it were me, I just would have walked off stage, bro. You kept going, though. You kept going.
Yeah, I have plenty of material that's embarrassing for you. Let's move on. Small dick energy. Let's clap for him.
2 seconds later.
I will say this, like, it is such a hard time in this world.
Where are your skills? Where are your comedic skills? Fire back off at him. You just got angry. You let him get to you. You know, obviously the reason why she didn't show off her comedic skills is because she clearly has none, which we all can see now.
Levitate.
Can I have a drink, please?
What a moron.
Thanks to her sharing this with the world. Like, sis, you got sent into the emotional shadow realm by a single hypothetical roast. Dude didn't even say anything yet. How are you going to deal with other comedians in your field? Well, they're probably not in your field because you were not in the same class. But how are you going to deal with them? You had the home court advantage, the mic, the full control of the show, and you're the one falling apart.
Negative. No, fucking look me, guys. You're putting negative fucking energy out here. This is the last show of my fucking. Look me in the fucking eye. It's the last show of my fucking weekend. It's a sold out show, and you want to say mean shit to me, okay? So don't fucking do that.
Are we serious? Is this a skit? No way. No way. Am I watching Idiocracy or something? No way. Are her crowd of friends drunk? Even if they are friends, bro, are you okay? This is the last show of my fucking weekend. You like fucking, you want to say mean shit to me. So just like, don't do that, okay? Mic drop. Oh my God. That was so fucking cringe. I want to cry. Like, the first time I saw that, I was like, ooh, it's so painful. Ooh, how awkward. Ew. Like, I've seen a lot of cringe stuff, but bro, damn. God, I don't even know what to say. Wow, this whole scene from the audience is clapping to her, and it's playing like one of those stories that people tell when they think they're cool, and then they let the people they know that they're telling the story to, that everyone stood and clapped, when we all know that didn't happen because of how fucking cringe it was. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not even funny. You know what? You know when something's so bad that it's funny? This wasn't that. This was just so overwhelmingly pathetic. Like, it was beyond pathetic. The only person who walked out of there looking like they got the W was that dude that wasn't even heckling her, that she called a heckler. Bro, what is this? Good Lord. This one woman's gonna set us back like freaking 60 years. Jesus Christ. Sister, that was embarrassing. And it only gets worse. Like, looking at her pacing like a caged animal with all her rabid feminist friends, why are you in this occupation? You're supposed to take that so-called, or take what the so-called heckler, who wasn't even a heckler, I must reiterate, says, and turn it into material. You had a golden opportunity right in front of you, and you pissed your career away, but I don't even think you had much of one, clearly. And if you're gonna do crowd work, expect that the crowd is gonna knock back. Otherwise, don't pick on the crowd. Did no one prepare you for this? Or are you one of those people who had everything handed to you on a golden platter where nobody ever pushes back and everyone is always kumbaya, kiki with you? Did it never enter your mind that you're gonna get people who didn't react the way you wanted them to react? You're in the wrong profession. You don't look cute. You look like a loser, and at worst, you look like a bully. You made yourself into ammunition for everybody. And you've also made it so that if you ever do stand up again or try to do crowd work, you're gonna encourage actual hecklers to make you cry because they see now that you're easy and they can get under your skin by barely doing shit. Like, instead of landing a comeback, you're all spiritual monologue about society. Bitch, nobody came here to hear about the state of the world or that you're a victim. They came to laugh, and now everyone's laughing at you. You think all those people are cheering for you? Maybe a lot of them are because they're your friends or whatever, or they're drunk as fuck, but I swear to you, people like that, they're laughing at you and egging you on. They're making a joke out of you because you're making a joke out of yourself. Because it's the most fun they've probably had all night. That's probably why they're laughing. That's probably the only time they didn't have to uncomfortably force their laughter just to make you feel comfortable and make themselves feel like they didn't completely waste their money. A lot of those same people are going to be sharing this clip that you posted yourself and laughing at you. Not with you, not for you, at you. If you couldn't handle this one person in the crowd doing almost nothing to you, I wonder how you're going to handle the fact that your clip went viral and everybody's dogging on your ass because of how you played yourself. Damn. Honestly, I would change my name and move to another country. That's how the shame, like, that's how much shame I would have after this. Oh my God. Oh, this is actually good. I'm getting validation. Probably why she shared this, by the way, because these so-called friends of hers, her audience members, are kissing her ass and made her think that everyone was on her side. She didn't realize that this was also a setup for further failure.
You can leave. This guy's texting his friend. It's so cute. You can leave too. I won't be offended. LOL, what a fucking clown. I did warn you I would get kicked out. Man, she is sensitive, especially for a comedian.
You are sensitive for a comedian. You know what would be funny though? Everybody reacting to this and calling this out, you'll know that she's extra sensitive if she tries to take down all her videos. Wait for it. If she doesn't, I'm impressed because goddamn. Like, how do you lack the self-awareness to see that you are sensitive? Like, way too much for this kind of job. Then as if that wasn't embarrassing enough, you kick the guy out because clearly the only way you can win a roast battle is by making sure the other person isn't there to respond. Then she's mad because this guy now lives rent-free in her head and he's still roasting her over text, but she's so fragile that she starts seething over a private conversation that wasn't even meant for her. And the funniest part is he was right. Again, you are sensitive. You are a clown, which technically is your job, but in this case, it's not the good type. Again, the only thing funny about your set was your meltdown. If your entire act crumbles the second someone dares to respond, you shouldn't be in stand-up, bro. You should be in customer service where at least you'll get fired in silence instead of humiliating yourself on stage. Look, I took a picture and stuck my middle finger up at him in front of a crowd of people cheering for me. Aren't I cool? Are I the main character? No, you're not. You look like a fucking idiot. I don't know, maybe in this little bubble of your world where people look, act, and think like you, where they need to be drunk just to sit through one of your shows and find it remotely entertaining, this is okay and this is funny. But to 99% of the world, you look like a dumbass. You just gave this guy even more ammunition and hardcore proof that he got under your skin, all for simply responding when you decided to fuck with him first at your own comedy show. It's one thing when somebody actually heckles you, like when they interrupt your whole set to try and get attention, but that's not what happened. You fucked with him first. Now, is he a little sensitive? Sure, but he's not the comedian. You are. And I don't even think he was being that rude. If he was really hurt over her comment, he would have gotten a lot more emotional, as we've seen people do where they start crying when the comedians pick on them.
Get mad at, but it's not me.
No, a white person trying to make fun of black people.
See, now you're crying, and I was just trying to make you laugh.
No, don't do that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Well, you see how that comedian handled it. He was annoyed, but he handled it. I'm sorry. But that's what she should have done. Like, it wasn't even that serious. And the thing is that woman in that specific clip, she interrupted that guy and took it to a level where it didn't belong. Don't even know why she's there with that kind of freaking emotion. But yeah, this guy in this cringy person set, he wasn't doing that. He was just clapping back and engaging with you, which is what people do because you started it. Some people do that just to see if you're actually a comedian, to see if you can handle that kind of interaction. They paid to be there. And if you're the one who started fucking with them first, they're gonna give you a run for your money sometimes. Some people are just like that. And if you don't know how to handle that, I know this is kind of a broken record at this point. You shouldn't be in this occupation. I mean, regular grown-ass women would know this. I don't know what this comedian, can't call her a comedian because she ain't one. I don't know what this person aspiring to be a comedian thought she was expecting when she went into this line of work, but somebody lied to her, or she lied to herself. Both outcomes are extremely way more comedic than her actual sets. But let's read some of the comments, because the comments are more entertaining than she was. Heckling is when someone interrupts your act. This was the opposite. If a comedian starts roasting me and I respond when I didn't initiate, I did not heckle them. They interrupted their own show to fuck with me. Exactly. Someone says, Ed, you're proud of this. It's not a heckle when you engage first. You have to remember, she's been told she's a princess her whole life and never challenged. Narcissist rage is a real thing. Oh my God, it does actually look like that. When challenged, they're the loudest in the room, hoping it will scare people away, and it worked, so she'll continue to do it in the future. He didn't heckle you, started it with him, and he stood up for himself. Imagine being called gay by your 5th grade doodle book. What? Oh wow, because of her freaking dumbass tattoos. Oh my gosh, yes, it's true. I utterly despise people like this woman. They love to mock other people, but completely melt down the second they get some ribbing in return. Exactly. That's why I don't even care if people want to come out here and be like, you're a bully. Bitch, she bullied him first. And now we can't bully the bully when we see the bully can't respond to being bullied, so it bullies the person even more. Come on now. I don't have any respect for people like that. So yes, in that specific situation, in this specific situation, oh yeah, bully away. You want to bully other people because that's what that is. That is exactly what this was. Watch the full 8-minute video, botch crowd work, resulting in her throwing a temper tantrum like a child. Then crashed out for 7 minutes while Simps and White Knights cheered her on. Truly embarrassing stuff. She's upset he was funnier than her. You can start to see her shut down when the audience member starts giving it back. She realizes she can't compete comedically, and the only way to regain control of the situation is to play the victim and get him kicked out. Exactly. Exactly what I said. You can't call him a heckler if, as the comedian, you're initiating the conversation with him. Yep, I don't think comedy is your thing. One line is all that's needed. Damn. That's the only roast you need for today. It's one thing to be lazy with crowd work by making gay jokes. It's another to have a breakdown at the slightest pushback for doing so. Embarrassing. I guess he hit the nail right on the head when he said you had no material. Truth hurts. Yeah, it's funny because she started getting super emotional at that point. You saw her brain just shut down, and you started to see the first inklings of the rage boiling up like a volcano ready to spew its jizz. Not jizz, whatever. You know what I mean? That's exactly where I started seeing that too. The slow nod, the smiling, you know, when Joker is ready to freaking erupt and the cymbals are sounding in the background soundtrack.
Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know.
That's kind of what I was getting from this. The Joker's origin story.
Look me in the fucking eye!
Fucking deserve!
Another comment says, a bit ironic, you don't know what a heckler is since you don't know what comedy is either. Oh! Damn! Oh, that was, ooh. Ah, that hurt. That hurt so bad. Ooh. Do you always suck this much, or did you make a special exception for this show? Damn. Posting your own L as a bold strategy. She had no choice because somebody else would have done it first. I'm just curious what people saying. So I had no idea she existed until this. It's true. Isn't that sad? The only time you get that's terrible. But another person starts crowd work on crowd member clips back at you, goes insane. Yeah, this was a banger, I think. That impersonation of Amber Heard was amazing. Absolutely despicable. The fact you were feeling no shame or remorse for your abusive behavior is baffling. Someone said, my God, you think you looked good in this? Someone else says, how does someone have such a lack of control over their emotions at a comedy show? As the comedian, yikes. This is more entertaining than her actual freaking, I could read these forever. She had a mental breakdown because someone in the crowd didn't want to be roasted. Wild L for the comedian. You're being mean to me. Why are women allowed to act like literal children? You see what I'm saying? You see, it's kind of hard for us women to be like, we're not overly emotional. What are you talking about? And when stuff like this happens, this is how a lot of us act. And at that point, I'm like, God damn it. Because when men are in the same situation, the majority, if you put neck to neck, a comparison contrast of men to women, most of the time in situations where maturity is needed, most of the time, I don't know how it was back in our parents' times, but now I can see, yeah, us women usually act worse. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. The stereotype is there for a reason. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying because it's kind of true. And you're not really giving us a leg to stand like that pilot woman who was going through a divorce and she decided to scare everyone on the plane.
I'll stop and I will fly the airplane. Don't worry, I'm going to let my co-pilot fly it. He's a man. Okay?
She said, let's take a vote. How many of you would like to take off now with me dressed as I am, or would you prefer that I take 10 minutes to get changed into my cute little uniform? Then she started talking about her divorce and political candidates. And the minute she mentioned that, a gentleman stood up and just yelled, whoa, enough, you're scaring me.
Another passenger, Randy Reese, got up to leave and gave a running commentary on social media. I'm shaking right now. The captain demonstrated that she was not mentally in a safe space. She says, sorry, I'm going through a divorce. Uh-oh. The pilot also insulted a mixed-race couple on board.
Did I offend you? Okay, so did I purposely offend you? I did. The answer is yes.
That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. I love this comment section. The best thing is she uploaded herself. She actually thought she looked good in the situation. Somebody said, sweet Jesus, you were bad at your job. And their nickname is Mr. Jesus doesn't say. Someone said, liar, that guy paid his ticket to see you and have a good time until you decide to roast him and have a meltdown on stage for nothing. He was not a heckler. He wasn't a heckler. But also, I'm not giving her anything. But for people going to comedy shows, whether you're dragged or not, it is important to know that if you sit in the front row or very close to the comedian, they will pick on you. We've gone to comedy shows and yeah, if you're in the front row, expect that you're gonna get picked on. I think my wildest interaction was the comedian coming off stage and humping me in front of a room full of people. Don't ask me how it got to that point because I swear to God, that's the only thing I remembered. And because it was the wildest thing, like I was so freaking embarrassed. Like I was laughing, but it just came out of nowhere. I'm like, bro. And my little brothers were right next to me. Like, what the fuck? And then that same comedian asked me like, oh, you want to come to the club later? I'm like, nah, I'm not horny enough for that. Plus I have a boyfriend. So, you know, that was wild. That was entertaining though. Only thing I remember because it's never happened. Okay, that has happened to me before, but not under those specific circumstances. Interesting. But I didn't get roasted. He was just teasing me. But yeah, expect that. Expect that's gonna happen. He was roasting my brother though, because my brother has glasses on and he's like, God damn, the way he delivered it was way better. He was actually really funny. But yeah, everyone is roasting this woman. You have to be able to make fun of yourself and make yourself look like an idiot. And I think the problem is she's not used to looking like an idiot. Well, I bet you now she is. She's gonna have to get used to it because holy shit. But yeah, everybody's joking on this woman. Somebody said, why is she happy? She lost the debate. Why would you post this? For a gay, something you say you're gonna say mean shit to me. I can't even. This is one of those comment sections where you want to look away but you can't stop because it just keeps getting better the more you scroll. Maybe her friends told her, look, you need to post it because you'll still get attention. There's that. But everybody's completely dunking on her. This is so embarrassing for her. And she made everything so much worse for herself because now she has thousands upon thousands of hecklers who are actively going to her page just to heckle her. But maybe this is good because she doesn't have to say anything. She can just have people roasting her and she doesn't have to be up on a stage expecting to say something because she wouldn't be able to do anything about that. She'd probably cry and wipe her ass on stage and throw it in the crowd and then run away and we'll never see her again. On her latest shorts, you can see people in the comments. Hold on. What's the dislike ratio? I can't see. Okay, 327. Oh, damn.
I went to a male therapist and he called me the wrong name. He did.
Nobody cares. Okay, so the comment section, people are freaking just, the meltdowns at the therapy is crazy. Did you tell your therapist to look you in the eyes when he called you? Are you regular people on the internet that are funnier than she is? And that's not even saying much because the bar doesn't even exist for her because she's just not funny, period. Did you have a meltdown? Somebody said came to comment, but I see you guys have got it covered. Bro, I saw your DC set was embarrassed to be your therapist. I like that one. That was funny as shit. You may not be funny, but you've given the world endless meme material. And for that, I thank you. Look me in the eyes. You went to a therapist. Now it all makes sense. Someone here is trying to be nice. They say, Natalie, and this is still embarrassing. I tell you this because I care, but please get mental help, especially anger management. It's not normal for people to behave the way you did with that heckler. Look me in the eyes. You should seriously consider a career change. Damn. This is so embarrassing. Everyone has united against this woman because, truth be told, what she did was straight up bully behavior. There was nothing funny or comedically interactive about what she did. She was being a bully. And if she can do that in public, imagine how she treats her partners or people that she claims she loves in private, or just anyone who disagrees with her. Like, I could see if I was dating this woman and, you know, we were out and, you know, I just teased her a little bit after she teased me and I teased her back. I feel like she'd slap my head off my shoulders before I'd have to grab her freaking bottom lips and tear them off her body. Because I wouldn't stay with someone like that, first of all. You can tease me, but I can't tease you. Lose your shit. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person that beats people or something. That's weird. God forbid anybody pushes back on anything you say when you started first. You don't need to be in comedy. It's good that you're in therapy, but maybe you should just stay there and fix whatever you got going on before you decide to go out there and interact with other people, because clearly you're not there yet. And she probably thought that she was golden because she probably placed this up on TikTok first to get the reactions. And we all know that people who are on TikTok are freaking vapid and not actually real people. So she thought that in that little bubble of fake ass people that she was gonna get the same reaction when she took it to YouTube where there are real people. And she found out the very hard way. Like, what kind of comment is this? I did warn you I would get kicked out. Oh, so friend should cut him off immediately. And she said, truly, it was their first time hanging out. The friend was really embarrassed and apologized after the show. Googly innocent face. She gets all super emotional and only acknowledges people who kiss her ass even when she's wrong, which explains why I'm sure she's monumentally surprised at the worldwide reception and reaction of regular, actual general audiences. Something that she will never be able to see since she has annihilated her career. Maybe she can do stand-up for people in a vegetative state because they won't know the difference. And a vegetative state is what her stand-up comes off as to the rest of us normal people. So it's a great fit. Are these real comments? No, they're not. Stop. These are not fucking real. They're as fake as the freaking audience. Dead internet theory for real. So I pull up this video. The irony is funny. This woman's name is Natalie as well. It's just spelled differently, but this is a female comedian. I specifically looked up a female comedian, never heard of her before, but I will be checking out more of her stuff. But I looked up a female comedian because people think that women aren't funny, and yes, men do have a better understanding of comedy because they're less sensitive overall in general, probably because they have more life experience, or because they have to grow up being made fun of and having a thick skin from women and other men in general, so maybe that's why. But these, you know, funny female comedians, they're out there, and just to let you know, this is how this girl handled this, and she handled it so well. And I'm going to show you a little bit, but immediately the interaction that she has is how this should have been handled. It's something all comedians should know how to do.
Go back to the therapist.
Did you just say go back to the therapist?
Yeah.
What makes you think I left them?
You see how she didn't get offended? She just leaned in on, I wasn't prepared for that. She just leaned in on it and she was like, oh, this is great, this is perfect. And she calmly, no emotional outburst, was on it quick as a clock.
Well, I'm seeing her on Thursday. What would you like me to bring up exactly? No, please, continue. Did you come out to comedy shows a lot?
No.
Clearly.
Her face, her delivery, the way she set that whole interaction up. See, that was funny. That was funny. And she didn't have a freaking emotional breakdown over it. You know what this feels like to me? Maybe it's an introvert-extrovert thing, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But the contrast I see here is that the girl with the glasses was probably like me, or a lot of you watching. An introvert, socially awkward, or not necessarily socially awkward, but just not as socially accepted in the very popular group. I could be wrong, I just have a feeling, because people who grow up in those super popular spaces, get everything handed to them. They're used to having yes men around them. They get validated all the time. Now, granted, yes, for anyone who knows me, I was popular, but that was only way later when I decided not to let myself get bullied anymore. And I was only popular because I hung out a lot with a lot of people, different people. And based on what some person told me, apparently because I was ripped, that's why I was popular. Miss having those muscles, man. Freaking iron six-pack. Freaking V-line, playing sports. That's what you need to do. Like, I miss playing sports. I need to go back and play sports because your body just eats that shit up, man. Sculpted as fuck. But anyway, for most of my childhood, I was bullied and outcasted. And as a result, even though I consider myself a sensitive person, my whole life doesn't get upended because one person was mean to me. Because I'm used to that shit. I clap back sometimes, of course. Why not? But one thing I'm not gonna do is going into an occupation where I have to deal with people and purposely fuck with them first. You know, like I go out of my way to mess with people, but then when they respond, I lose my goddamn mind over it. Like there's so many people, even on YouTube, that do that shit. They will pick on somebody, right? Go out of their way to fuck with another YouTuber. And when that YouTuber claps back at them and makes them look stupid and the YouTuber's followers are like, yeah, dude, you took the L. You look dumb as fuck. They're like, oh my God, they're attacking me. They were mean to me. Like, bitch, what? You poked the bear first and now you're mad because the person's defending themselves, especially when you're lying about these people. It's so freaking annoying. And it makes anything that happens to them, people, I do not care because you started it. You made yourself a goddamn target, which is exactly what this woman did. She made herself a target. This woman who had the meltdown. She was probably one of those cool kids, the ones doing weird shit, getting validated by all her fake ass friends who never tell her the truth to her face. So now when she actually goes out into the real world, she's shocked. She's shocked that not everyone bows down to kiss the ground she walks on or pretends that they care. And you can see the very big difference because if you look at actual comedians, especially the ones who write really good material, you'll find that they were either socially awkward, picked on, damaged in terms of their life. They've been through a lot of shit, like they've drugs, done a bunch of stuff. They're the runt in their family, or they've had a lot of real life experiences that shape them to have a hard, thick skin and learn how to have material. Like they not learn how to have material, but they have material because of all their experiences. It made them a stronger person to handle interactions. It doesn't necessarily mean they were introverts, but they weren't socially accepted in the way that popular, like super popular kids were. Of course, there are exceptions, but let's be real. Really popular people who got everything they wanted don't usually aspire to be comedians. And Matt Rife doesn't count because, you know, he wasn't always super attractive. So that's just one of those things. But, you know, why would they? Why would really popular people who get everything they want aspire to be comedians? Comedy comes from struggle, from observing the world with a sharp, critical eye, right? It's not getting everything handed to you on a silver platter with a smile and a freaking participation trophy. So the people who didn't have the constant validation, the ones who probably had parents that did love them, but they were being bullied at school, or they had a rough life because they made a lot of poor decisions or had a bad card dealt to them, they were taught resilience. They're better at handling their emotions than this freaking Muppet we watched earlier screaming in people's faces because they dared to clap back when she fucked with them first. I wanted you guys to see the difference on both of those comedians so you can know how it's done and how not to do it. The latest girl that I showed, that's what a comedian is. That's an actual comedian. Because people are going to look at your reaction too. And if you can have fun with it, if people see that you can stand up to without like losing your ever-loving mind over it, that makes them want to come back and see more of your stuff. Now, because I saw that video of that girl, I want to go back and see more of her stuff. Wow. All this Natalie woman successfully did was make people collectively say yikes, and now the only reason people are checking her out is to clown her, not actually watch her material, because she doesn't have any. If someone actually pays to see her for the purpose of experiencing comedy, my question would be, aren't there safer forms of self-loathing and torture you can take part in? Like, I would rather sit down for 9 hours watching those old Asylum Sharknado type movies that you guys like to watch me watch because it makes me mad. I'd rather watch 9 hours of that back to back than watch 5 minutes of this woman's material. That's how painfully unfunny and unentertaining she is. She's entertaining enough to make a comment about or to make a video on and then never mention again. You know, it's like one of those situations where you're like, holy shit, look at this person over here. Look at what they just did. Damn. And then they're so insignificant that as soon as we all say what we gotta say and we all say our piece. We just move on and then completely forget that she exists. That's actually really sad. Anyway.
Alright, let me see. Okay, oh, the person from Germany doesn't like the Nazi jokes. The Germans, historically known for being patient. They don't got no comedy clubs in Germany. What's the material gonna be like at a German comedy club? Knock, knock, who's there? Doesn't matter, open the door, now! Why did the chicken cross the road? He was following all